Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. This is Betska, the Guru Coach, with my fabulous host, Vashisht. Welcome to Mindful
Thank you.
Leadership Beyond Borders. And we have a fabulous guest with us today. His name is Terrian. He's from Montreal, Canada. And let me give you a little introduction about Terry. He's a senior practice management consultant. And I know you're probably wondering what the heck that is, but we'll let you know about that in a moment. He works with a Canadian wealth management firm. He thrives on a stage and is most fulfilled when teaching and sharing his knowledge and experience in a way that makes a difference in the lives of others. So we want to talk about how Terry and his practice can make a difference in your life today. He has 25 plus years of teaching and training experience with an expertise in portfolio management software. He also coaches investment advisors using his own framework of success, which is kind of cool, like all caps plus HR all caps plus ACDC all caps. And if we have time, we want to talk about that. I'm intrigued, aren't you? And Terry practices extreme gratitude, which he credits as an essential pillar to happiness and overall mental health. So welcome, Terry. Raj and I are very happy to have you on our podcast today.
Thank you, Betska. Thank you, Raj. Great to be here. Looking forward to our chat.
Beautifully in the office.
Yes, it's a beautiful office. So, okay, tell us about practice management consultant. What do you do? What is it? So everybody can understand.
Yeah, so in the wealth management industry, working with independent investment advisors who are basically helping their clients with their money, right? I help the advisors essentially all around how to maximize the technology that they have, because they're great at managing money. They're great at talking with people and building relationships, but they're not necessarily experts on all the tools that they need to run their business. There's a lot that they need to know, right? If they want to run it efficiently, especially as they grow the clients that they are working with, they need someone like me who helps them on, okay, well, what are the systems that you're using? How do you use them most efficiently in order to just be more productive? And if you have a team, like how are you working with the team? If you have a practice and you're independent, or do you have a website? And we can get into things like that. Like what about your website? What are you doing in terms of marketing? Do you have a CRM, a client relationship management tool? And how do you use that to make things run smoothly in your practice? Essentially, that's what it is that I do.
Yeah, so you're basically helping them to manage their business so that it is more effective, efficient, and can offer better services to their clients.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Because you see,
cool.
I'm not a financial advisor, so whatever I say here is not financial advice, and not my area of expertise, but I'm helping them, become better at what it is that they're doing in terms of running the practice.
Right. Wonderful. And I'm sure you learned that through years and years and years of experience, right?
Well, for me, the experience, the 25 plus years, comes from when I first started teaching when I was in Taiwan. So I went to Taiwan in 1999, and I started there. What was I going to do? I was going to be there for a little while, and I was teaching English. So I taught English, and I had never taught anything until that point. But it became we all have gifts. And it turns out that this is mine. I didn't know it at the time, but I had these kids who were like 6 years old. And the first day they asked me to do a demo, I had them on the floor. They were laughing. They were repeating the English words. And years later, the teacher who was in the class at the time said, when I was talking to another person, saying, yeah, that was my first, this was my first experience. And she said, what? I thought you'd been doing this for years. And it was the first time. And of course, from there, doing that for 7 years, that experience of teaching and being in front of, even though they were little kids, 5 to 12 years old, you learn a lot. You learn to make things fun, but also, the whole point is for them to learn. And that's what I bring to my work as well. Like wherever I'm going in all situations, I'm making people laugh, whether it's these kids, these primary school kids, or these, what you looks like very serious and yeah, sometimes serious portfolio managers in this, and wearing the suits, but they're having fun. And so that's what it is that I do. I just love bringing that positive energy to the teaching.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So in the introduction, we talked about extreme gratitude. Tell us what that means to you, and how do you live that motto, or that?
Yeah.
How do you do that every day?
How do you do that? That's really being in that state all the time. Like, why I say extreme is I'm grateful at moments where most people are not even thinking about gratitude. Example, I'm walking my dog, and I'm walking, and this has happened so many times, Betska. I'm walking the dog, and in Montreal, there's ice all the time in the winter.
Yeah.
And you walk, and you slip, but you don't fall. You know how you slip and
yeah.
And I'm like, it's almost as if something held me back, And at that moment, my thought is, thank you. Thank you that nothing happened. Or I'm washing dishes, and out of nowhere, a cup breaks into a million pieces, right? A glass cup. And I'm looking at that, and I'm like, my hands are okay, because I could have hurt myself, but I didn't. Instead of getting upset about the fact that I just broke a glass, I'm thinking, thank you. Nothing happened. Or even this one, I'm sitting on the dentist chair, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, how lucky am I that I have a professional, caring, able person to take care of my teeth right now when I need them, because it's not anybody can do this. I have access to it. I have somebody who's good at it. I'm thankful. And I'm actually saying thank you, sitting there with my eyes closed in my meditative state. Thank you. So that's where extreme gratitude comes from.
And also extremely grateful that you have teeth.
There's that too, right? It's everything. It's everything we can be thankful for, right? That's the beauty of it. Yeah. Having teeth, even though I don't have hair, I'm grateful for everything else that I have, because it doesn't bother me that I don't have hair on my head. That's not important to me, right? What I have to be thankful for is, I have arms and legs, and I have my health, and I have my house, my wife, my dog. There's just, you just stay in that state. And especially with what's happening in the world today, we see, right? The people, like just recently in Florida, right? That hurricane. You say, oh my God. And then how lucky I am that I'm not experiencing that right now. And then we pray for them. So gratitude is so important. And I believe that the more grateful we are, even for the smallest things, the more we attract and we bring to us the things that we want to have in our lives. See, my father was the opposite of grateful. He was always complaining. And I think maybe at some point that's where it's coming from me. He would complain about little things, big things, everything. There's always that complaint. Such a it's a negative emotion. It's a negative state of mind. And it's unfortunate, but he programmed that in himself over years, and he didn't see it. But for me, totally the opposite.
And so your father was a gift to you, because you recognized how he was, and you probably decided you wanted to be the other way. Is that what happened? Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think it has a role to play, but because I could remember days in my younger years, it wasn't something that came to me naturally, and I was influenced by that. It's over the years, I meditate now. It's like since I started meditating in '94, so I'm on a spiritual path, and just being in that spiritual state, and knowing that there is God above that, is there nourishing, sustaining everything. It really comes from that. And then I bring up my father because he was just to say that there are people like him who who just don't get it and who stay in that unfortunate complaining state. And it's just a matter of looking at like really, and sometimes I admit that in some cases, like let's take the people who just experienced what they did in Florida. It's hard to be grateful at that moment, but you still, at that moment, if you have to look at what there is, if you're not hurt and you left and everything there is material, right? It doesn't matter, right? All that can be, I can remember another experience that I had was I have had a few car accidents, minor car accidents where, you know, there was damage to cars, but I remember the first accident where I wasn't a person runs the red light. I had nothing, I could do nothing about it. I hit and I'm just so angry. This is way before. This is before my spiritual practice. And I just start saying all the bad words in the cars. I'm saying there, what kind of, you know, stupid person you are. Like, I haven't even left the car yet. I'm fine. I'm sitting there and I'm complaining that somebody ran the red light and I'm in this accident and but I'm fine, right? My car is a wreck and I'm just, So that's one experience. The second time this happens, another intersection, a person just runs a red light, smash right into it. And I come out of this so different now. I'm like, wow, I'm fine. Thank you. I get out of the car. I go to the lady. Are you okay? She's like, yeah. She didn't realize that she had run the red light. She was oblivious, right? And I was so calm through the whole thing. And there were even witnesses that came to me, and I even took the coffee. I used to go to work. This was on my way to work. I took my flask out and I started drinking my coffee as I'm waiting for the police to come. And the witnesses there saying, I can't believe how calm you are, right?
Yeah, really, yeah.
Well, what can I do about it? Yeah, the car is a wreck, but she's fine. I'm fine.
Yeah,
I'm grateful.
Yeah. Oh, that is fabulous. Wow, what great examples of extreme gratitude. Terry, we're going to take a pause and we'll be right back, folks, with part 2 with Mr. Terrian.